Happy New Year, YouTube friends. By the way, if you're here to listen to the sound of this, I'm not really gonna play this today. This, as the title says, Ibanez AF71F, buyer beware. This is about this guitar and what happened to it when it was shipped to me. And I'm making another video. The video that will follow this will be strictly just testing it for the sound so that you guys hear. This is just a video of what happened, and I'm going to give you the specs of the guitar here, okay? So I've been looking for this Ibanez AF71F, God, for years, since this is a guitar I really wanted. I've listened to it on YouTube and really love what I heard, and I've been searching for it since. They're hard to find. I finally found one on eBay. This little thing here. He was charging a lot, 400 with the case, with a hard case, because this guitar came out as 399 back in 2014. I at least know this was back in 2014 because it's made in China. And in 2016, Ibanez started making the AF71Fs in Indonesia, and I think they stopped at 2017 or maybe 2016. That was it. They're really hard to find. I got excited because the pictures in eBay looked nice, shiny, no dings whatsoever. He said everything functioned well, and he had lots of pictures, and this cat is based in Texas, I think, somewhere in Texas. And this was in December, this last December. So I made the purchase, after messaging him back and forth. I made the purchase, and lo and behold, I was surprised when it came. The guitar was very dirty to start with. There was no hard case that came with it, and it was in a very fragile box. I am surprised that all the way from Texas, this thing survived without any cracks in the body. But there's more to this. He had loosened the strings, but he had forgotten that this is all floating. The only thing attaching this bridge to the guitar really is the strings, the weight of the strings. So what happened when he removed the strings, when he loosened the strings, this whole bridge fell off. This thing hit the body of the guitar, and the strings were all over the place, and he wrapped it with bubble wrap. So what had happened, one of the thick strings had creased itself up, and a mark here indented a little ding in the guitar because of the ball. You see it there? Here, let me try to, you see that ding right there? You see that? The ball was embedded there. It dinged the freaking guitar, man. And the strings were all over, so I was looking for more dings. I couldn't find one. This bridge here had a minor crack. It would go all the way if not taken care of or glued, because it had fallen off. So the first thing I did was, number one, I can send this back, get my money back, forge a complaint, at the risk of never finding an AF71F again. Or I can try to see what I can do with it and live with it. Buyer beware, So the first thing I did was called Ibanez, or I forget the name of the store that sells Ibanez part, and ordered just the whole darn thing. I just ordered the whole darn thing. And I was lucky that the person I communicated with had said that he had actually used ones if I wanted them for cheap. I think he charged me like $10 for the whole thing. I don't know if that's cheap or expensive for this type of bridge, but he told me that the AF71s, AF75s, and 95s, they carry the same kind, and all he wanted to know was what color, and I told him it was chrome, and he mailed it to me. He overnighted it to me, and so I was lucky, So I pieced it together. I removed the strings, of course. I bought new strings, the Durio. flat ones 12 gauge. You know, I like Tomastic, but that's some waiting time, you know, because you have to order that. And the only ones I had were 11s in Tomastic. I wanted 12 for this. And so I put the Dario here. The action was high. It was really bad. It was high. And then when I tried to figure out the neck, to straighten the neck, and I didn't want to mess with the bridge right away, so I should have brought it to a luthier, which eventually I did. You know, when I adjusted the neck, there were some buzzing sounds all over the place. And he had carved, he didn't use 12, he might have used 11 gauge flat ones because he had filed this one. And you know, you got to be careful with that. But I said, if that is the issue, that's no problem. This is plastic. I can have that replaced anytime. So I I cleaned it up because it came really dusty. There was a lot of fingerprints. It was really dirty, you know. So I cleaned it up. I brought it to the local luthier here, and he set it up for me. You know, he set it up for me using the same strings. I should have never placed the 12 gauge because we may have to get you new strings again. Because I normally, but he said since they're flat one, they usually retain their shape. I'll try to work around it. And that's what he did. He adjusted the height. Obviously, this came from another guitar. So he adjusted this height here, which I didn't want to mess with, and the intonation. And he adjusted the neck. I told him I wanted my action pretty low, you know, because I'm not bending. This is more for jazz. And lo and behold, he was able to redemption of this guitar was fantastic. The knobs, to tell you, were not oriented well. They were full volume, full tone as you see now, but they were facing like one was facing here, the other there. So it was, you know, and they were tight. They weren't even loose. So I don't know what this cat did with this guitar. So I went ahead and you know, told the luthier they're not oriented well, and he fixed that too. You know, he told me all he had to do was pop it up. Of course, I was just too scared to do it and put it back on. And he told me, here's the good news. It sounds fantastic. And so, whew, you know, I gave him a bad review. You know, he had good reviews all throughout. And I called him while this was at the luthier. I called him and I told him I was really disappointed. Not called him, I emailed him and I told him I was really disappointed with this. And, you know, he was fine. He thought, he didn't think it would, you know, be damaged. But I said, man, you removed the strings. You must have seen this fall down. You must have seen the thing come loose. You should have taped. You should have taped the strings together, or you should have just removed the strings altogether. You know, and he, of course, apologized and he mailed me the case overnight. He said he forgot that he had listed the hard case came with it. The hard case came and it was again deceiving because the hard case was a little bit bigger than the guitar. So the guitar would move inside, but I'm not, you know, it's more for storage and I can live with that, you know. I can live with that because if I travel with it someday, I can just put some bubble wraps or something so it won't bang against the case. It's a beautiful case, you know. And so it came, and so we were settled, and I was good to go. And so let me give you just, this is acoustically, you know, there's not plugged in. And the next video we're going to plug in, but so there you have it. I mean, it sounds good. There's no buzzing. There's no buzzing at all. And it's in good shape now. Okay, so beware when you get from eBay. I mean, I know it's hard because what you see is what you get, and you know, you base it on the reviews that the person has. This guy had great reviews. I was really surprised, but I got my baby, and the only thing now is just a small ding, which I can live with it. So now I'm calling it a relic guitar. That's the beauty about guitars. The moment you get a ding, you can just tell them it's relic. I mean, it's 2014, you know, but I am so happy with it. Also, let me give you the features of this guitar, and then the next video I have, no talking. I'll just play the guitar, do some things with it so you guys can listen to it. But for now, it's just me sharing this. So the specs of this guitar is, I got a cheat sheet here. It's an Ibanez AF71F. The F stands for floating. As you can see, the pickups are floating, and so is everything else. The volume here is attached to the pick guard, okay? It's not attached to the body, and then the pick guard's attached to the body. The everything else, like I told you, the bridge is just mounted on top with the weight of the strings, okay? And this is floating as well. Okay, so the it's a 2014 because it's made in China. 2016 they were made in Indonesia. They came in glossy black or tobacco brown. I wish I could get a tobacco brown, but the only one selling it on Reverb was selling it from Germany. I didn't want to mess with that. That's even more dangerous. But that one was listed in mint condition, and they wanted, I think, 500 for that one, including shipping. So it was a lot, you know. Okay, what else? The neck type is an Artcore family neck. All the Artcore models use this. It's mahogany, and it's set in neck. It's a set in neck. Okay, there's no screws here. It's just set in. The top, back, and sides are maple, and then the frets are medium frets, which, by the way, the neck is amazing, like any Ibanez I've had, you know. And the frets are medium, and the number of frets, there are 20 frets here. The bridge is an Art 1 bridge, and you know, that's the bridge that he gave me. He had a spare, the luthier, the store that I called. The tailpiece is a VT06 tailpiece. This one here, VT06 tailpiece. It's floating, like I say. It's the strings that hold it up. The neck pickup is a classic Elite Mini H neck pickup. So that's all this has, and that's the beauty of this, because I only play the neck really when playing jazz, or attempting to play jazz, let's put it that way. And the pickup, it's a passive Alnico pickup, okay? And then factory tuning is EAB, EAG, EA. Oh wow, they have it wrong here. It's regular tuning. It's EADGBE, and the string gauge that it comes with usually is a 10, and everybody switches that off to 11 or 12. I prefer 12 for this one. And the hardware color is chrome, as mentioned a while ago. The scale is 24.7. Okay, it's 24.7 scale inches, and that's converted as 628 millimeters. The radius of the neck is 12 inches or 305 millimeters, and the nut width is 43 millimeters. It's the same as my AF75 Ibanez, and the width at the nut is 1.7 inch, 43 millimeters, and the width at the last fret is 2.2 inches, 56 millimeters, and the thickness at the first fret is 0.8 inches, 21 millimeters, and the thickness at the ninth fret is 0.9, 24 millimeters. So that's it. that's what this guitar is, and just a teaser and just a buyer beware. So what can I say? You know, just be careful when you buy an eBay, or even in Reverb. But Reverb is more, I guess, safer, you know, and if you're like me and get lucky, you can salvage it, you know, and tender loving care get it to a fantastic looking guitar again, you know, and or you can give it back. I wasn't going to give it back. I really wanted to salvage this because they're hard to find and they're cheap. They're not even expensive guitars or whatnot, but if you even look for sound demos of this on YouTube, you'll know why, you know, I like this. It's a beautiful, it's a beauty. It's different from the AF75 or 95 that have two, you know, pickups, even if you just choose the neck. And the beauty of this is once you dial this in, you're good to go. There's no flick or there's no toggle switch or anything like that. And oh yeah, and this was kind of loose, so the luthier that I sent it to tightened that as well. He did a great job. Other than that, it sounds great. Of course, it's not plugged right now, but my next video will have that. So again, Happy New Year, and I'll find time to start posting again guitars or anything, topics that I'd like to talk to you about. You have a great day.